Hello, everyone. It's me, Elizabeth, and I have another book review because I finally read a new book. I also got a new office in a new home, so we're starting all new kinds of chapters in our life. But today we are going to talk about Harlan Coben's Missing You. Also, you'll notice there's no virtual background, so the book doesn't disappear, but my dog does bark because she doesn't really like books or windows being opened. Hold on. Cool. We solved that problem. So, um, Harlan Coben's Missing You. To start, it's from 2014, and you can tell because some of the language used to describe some characters is outdated and not how people would prefer to be referred to today, if they were ever preferred to be called by any of the languages he uses. Um, but I digress, as I usually do, to talk a little bit about Harlan Coben. Not Corbin. Isn't that a musical artist or a character on a Disney show? An actor for Disney? Is Corbin Blue a person? Anywho, let's see if I can edit this video this time. We're trying new technologies as well. But Harlan Coben is the internationally best-selling author of more than 20 previous novels, including the #1 New York Times bestseller, 6 Years, Stay Close, Live Wire, Caught, Long Lost, and Hold Tight, as well as the Myron Bolitar series, and more recently, a series aimed at young adults featuring Myron's nephew, Mickey Boltar. Voltaire? He is the winner of the Edgar, Seamus, and Anthony Awards, and he lives in, shout out to the state of New Jersey. You can connect with him on his website, harlancoben.com, on Facebook and Twitter. Now that we're done with plugging the very award-winning, prolific, and I think good author Harlan, we can now talk about this book specifically. It was good. It was good up until probably the last chapter. So, do I recommend this book? Yes. If you are looking for a book that has some mystery, you want to figure out who done it, you want to be intrigued, there's some plot twist. It has some touchy-feely, but not too much touchy-feely for those of us that don't particularly like touchy-feely novels. It has those things. It's good. I enjoyed it until the end. And I'm not going to ruin the ending. But I will tell you that if you would like to read this book and, in my humble opinion, feel fulfilled, I think you should just read all the way up until, stand by, I will tell you, should have had my finger on the page. Page 395. You read up until 395. You let the last, there's like a, there, I'll find a different page with it. There's a page break, where you indicate that time, the passage of time is different or that you're in a different place. Like one of these big dramatic spaces between things. Yeah. So you stop reading on page 395 right after one of those, and you will probably like this book a lot more. And it's not necessarily because of who does what or how it's written. It's just one of those like unnecessary moments, I guess. I don't know. Like if you were paying attention, I feel like you could have figured this out. I think I figured it out relatively early on, but I just think that, has anyone watched Pretty Little Liars? Great show. Loved it. There came a point where everyone on the internet and everyone who watched it was like, oh my God, figured it out. We know who A is. great. And I, Marlene King, decided to just throw a bunch of curveballs, make it left field, and be like, haha, you didn't know what I was doing. I'm smarter than you. And if that wasn't her intention, might be. I think there's articles that say it wasn't her intention, but it really doesn't seem like that. So that's what this felt like. It felt like I have this idea and I want to stick to this idea, and I didn't include it in the first 395 pages. So right when you thought the book was over and it could have ended, I'm going to just throw some more information in there and then wrap it up in 4 pages. So either, again, my opinion, opinions are like elbows. Everybody's is awkward and everybody has one. Sometimes you bump into things and hurt other people and don't mean to, with your elbows and your opinions. It's also the polite way of saying opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has ones and everybody stinks. But I think that if he was going to take the route he did, he probably should have just made the book longer and really delved deep into that, or should have incorporated that plot twist earlier, or plot moment in plot. I really should brush up on my language of literature if I'm going to continue to do these. But anywho, so that's, again, my opinion. I liked the book. It was a good read. I also forgot to tell anyone what it was about, and to do it in a quick synopsis. Basically, Kate Donovan, super cool character in my opinion, NYPD detective, deals with being thrust upon or thrust onto a dating site by her friend, sees her ex-fiance Jeff. There's a spark, there's intrigue. Meanwhile, there's body count racking up, and she is dragged into the investigation. And the common connector here is Jeff. Dun, dun, dun. So it's interesting to see how it unfolds and how everything pans out. I do like that there's no definitive, this is what happens after this moment. There comes a point where, like, you as a reader get to take everything you learned about these characters and kind of use your inference skills, and also, I guess, what you want to have happen, which I think is neat. But overall, great storytelling. Good book. I would read it, or I did read it. I liked reading it. I wouldn't read it again, but that's also, I don't tend to reread books. There's only like 1 or 2 that I can reread. So yeah, I'm going to go with check it out. I did actually read another book by him. I am utterly convinced, and I don't know the name of it, and it's plagued me for years. I should probably do an in-depth investigation one day. But I like his books, and that other book, the name escapes me, stays with me. Like, I still remember passages from it. So highly recommend him as an author. This book in particular, okay. I think if you want a good book about a strong slash slightly disheveled woman who's out there kicking butt and taking names, seems like it's going to be a good book for you. But that's all. If you want some short stories and you want to be able to share your opinions on those, you can check out all the short stories I've written on my website, our website, shockinglyme.com. If you want to give me a book recommendation, drop it in the comments. You can always email me at shockinglyme.com. Otherwise, I hope everyone has a very spooky and enjoyable Halloween, because it's October. Bye, everybody.